All right, thanks, guys. The Colts take on the Texans. That's going to be a 4:35 Eastern kickoff this Saturday in Houston. The Texans open the betting as the 2.5-point favorite with a total at 48. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a steady and consistent fade of the Texans in the early going here. We're also seeing movement upward on the total. Right now, Houston's -1 with the total moving upward to an even 49. So once again, Houston open 2.5 down to 1. Total open 48 up to 49 even. 55% of the consensus is leaning toward Indianapolis. 58% of the consensus is shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Colts are plus 105 for some money line cash. Now, if you like the Colts to get the job done in this matchup here, just keep in mind they're taking on a Houston team who is 11-2 straight up in their last 13 ball games. They've also successfully covered the number in 4 out of their last 5 on their home turf. This Houston offense is putting up 26 points per contest on their home field. They're also rushing for 138 yards at home as well. They are taking on a Colts team who's failed to cover in 3 out of their last 6. They're also 0-3 against the spread at the current posted total. This Indianapolis defense is allowing 23 points per contest away from home. They're also covering, they're actually just 3-4 against the spread in their last 7 as the underdog. Now, when it comes to scoring, Indianapolis is 5-2 to the under in their last 7. They're also 5-1 to the under, taking on teams allowing less than 21 points per contest. Meanwhile, on the Houston side of things, they're 5-3 to the under at home, 4-2 to the under in their games at the current posted total. So with all that said and done, I'm going to take the home favorite in this one. Give me Houston -1 and the under 49 total points in that one. And with that said, I just want to take a quick timeout and just quickly welcome you to the show. I got some lines of personal leans out for Wild Card Weekend 2019 in the NFL. But before we go ahead and get into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented record of 2-0-1 in my last 3 exclusive board member plays, you're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed to that channel, that website. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just go ahead and hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a couple of seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine, and you're currently watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. And let's go ahead and get back into some more lines of personal leans for Wild Card Weekend 2019. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Seahawks at the Cowboys. That's going to be an 8:15 start this Saturday night at Jerry World. Dallas opened the betting as the 2.5-point favorite with a total at 42. And since those markets opened this one up, we're once again seeing a steady fade of the favorite. We're seeing a 1.5-point fade of the Cowboys in the early going here. We're also seeing movement upward on the total as well. Right now, Dallas is -1 with the total moving upward to 43. So once again, the Cowboys open 2.5 down to 1. Total open 42 up to 43. 55% are leaning towards Seattle. 62% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Seahawks are plus 105 for some money line cash. Now, this Dallas defense has been awesome this season. They're allowing just 18 points per contest at home. They're also allowing just 70 rush yards on their home turf as well. Dallas is 7-1 straight up at Jerry World, 6-2 against the spread in that same category. So they successfully covered the number in 6 out of their last 8 at Jerry World. Now, Seattle on the other side, they failed to cover in 2 out of their last 3. They've also failed to cover in 4 out of their last 8 away from home, and their defense is allowing 113 rushing yards away from home as well. So that's going to be tough sledding for them with Big Zeke in the backfield. Now, scoring-wise, Seattle 3-0 to the over in their last 3. 7 out of their last 8 got over the total as well. Meanwhile, Dallas 5-3 to the over in their games at home. Their offense is putting up 25 points per contest at AT&T Stadium. So with all that said and done, I'm going to make another chalky play in this one. Give me Dallas -1 and the over. 43 total points in that one. All right, next game, Sunday slate. It is going to be Chargers. I knew I had it upside down. There we go. Chargers at the Ravens, 1:05 Eastern kickoff in Baltimore. The Ravens open the betting as the 3-point favorite in the total at 42. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a slight fade of Baltimore when it comes to the spread. We're also seeing movement downward on the total as well. Right now, the Ravens are -2.5 with the total moving downward to 41 and a hook. So once again, Baltimore open 3, down to 2.5. Total open 42, down to 41 and a hook. 57% of the consensus are leaning toward the Chargers, 52% shaded toward the over, and at the moment the Chargers are plus 130 for some moneyline cash. Now, if you like the Chargers in this one, they have been awesome on the road this season. They won 7 out of their last 8 when traveling. They're also 7-1 against the spread in that very same category. This Charger offense is scoring 28 points per contest away from home, and their defense is allowing just 19 points per game on the road as well. Meanwhile, on the Baltimore side of things, they've been getting the job done in the outright game, but they have not been good against the number for their backers at home. They failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6 at home. They're also just 1-2 against the spread in their last trio of ball games, and they failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6 that kicked off at the current posted total. Now, scoring-wise, this Baltimore offense is putting up 27 points per contest at home, so they do have the ability to score at home. They just haven't been covering the number, and they are 4-1 to the over at home, taking on teams allowing less than 21 points per contest. And speaking of which, the Chargers, well, they're 5-3 to the over on the road as well. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. I'm also going to purchase the hook, buy it up, and take the Chargers +3 and the over 41.5 in that one. All right, next and final game for the show, it is going to be Eagles at the Bears, 4:40 kickoff in Chicago. The Bears open the betting as the 5.5-point favorite with the total at 42. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing steady and consistent money on the Bears in the early going here. We're also seeing consistent movement downward on the total as well. Right now, Chicago's -6 with the total moving downward to an even 41. Once again, Chicago open 5.5 up to 6. Total open 42 down to 41 even. 55% are leaning Chicago, 58% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Eagles are +210 for some moneyline cash. Now, if you haven't been paying attention to the NFC lately, the Eagles are red hot right now. They've won 5 out of their last 6 ball games. They're also 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 away from home. This Philly defense is allowing just 93 rushing yards away from home this season. They're also 4-2 straight up in their last 6 when traveling. Now, on the other side, the Bears, they've been very good in many spots this year, but they haven't been good historically against the Eagles. And as a matter of fact, they lost 6 out of their last 8 at home, taking on Philadelphia, dating back the last couple of seasons. And Chicago injuries have been a problem. We have one of their linebackers, Lynch, with a questionable with an elbow injury. Robinson, questionable with ribs. He's one of their wide receivers. We have Jackson, the safety, questionable with an ankle. And we have Miller, another wide receiver, questionable with a shoulder. So the Bears a little bit banged up on both sides of the ball. And the one thing you got to wonder is how many times can they win the way they've been winning? They're just winning in a very obscure way. You know, trick plays, gadget plays, bizarre fumble returns, and just how many times can they win in a very obscure way? Plus, NFC North, very weak division this year. So we'll have to see. I don't know if the Bears, I don't know if that 12-4 record has certainly been warranted. But anyway, 12-4 in the NFL is excellent. But I just don't know if they can get the job done against a number. Now, scoring-wise, Chicago, 4 out of their last 8 at home did get over the total. They're 4-3 to the over, taking on teams allowing 21 to 25 points per contest. Meanwhile, the Eagles, on their side of things, well, they're 75% to the over, taking on teams averaging more than 25 points per contest. The Eagles are also 67% to the over, taking on teams allowing less than 21 points per game. So with all that said and done, I got to take a road dog in this one. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles +6 in the over 41 total points in that one. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. Once again, I have to remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And once again, I am 2-0-1 in my last 3 board member plays, very big plays, a very expensive membership package there. So my top tier patrons are certainly paying dividends there, getting the job done. But once again, 2-1 in my last 3 on that website. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just hit me up at patreon.com/BrockPage.